Okay, so we're working on Fire on the Mountain, and we're trying to just kind of see where the phrases end, okay? Normally it feels like at the end of a measure, the phrase naturally ends, or if there's a pickup in the beginning of the song, you can hear that pickup later in the song too when it comes back around. But in this song, the pickup actually doesn't happen when we start the song off, but happens every other time afterwards, okay? So when we start the song off, we have... And then this next 2-0-5 that happens is actually the pickup to the next measure. Because now when you get to this 0-5, which is at the end of line 2, measure 1, this starts the whole thing over again with the pickup. And then the pickup happens again. And that's the first ending to the whole part A, right? Then the pickup happens for the first time. The pickup's going to happen and bring you back into where you started the song off. So now when it starts to do the repeat, you're actually hearing the pickup for where you didn't hear one before. Back to the beginning. Here's the pickup. Pickup again. Here's the pickup. That part's the same on part 1, on the first ending and the second ending, so you could get yourself to that open quarter note and stop when you're doing this. But ideally, just play through it, but kind of give yourself a mental pause just so you can hear the phrasing a little bit, and then by the time you get the hang of it, you don't necessarily pause between the phrases, but you just play them with a little more of an emphasis on the pickup. Okay, for this week, if you need to break them up a little bit to get your head around it, then do that. But really, I just want you to get to playing through the whole thing with the first ending and the repeat. Okay. The next thing that happens is something kind of interesting. I want to start with this chord that happens if we're looking at line 1, 2, 3, 4. Line 4, the second half of that first measure. On that 3, I want you to put your first finger down. Okay, so your first finger is on this 3. Where are you? First finger's on this 3. Your pinky is going to go on the 5th fret, okay? And your ring finger is going to go right here on the 3rd string 5th fret, okay? So you have this 3, 5, 5, okay? The reason you have that is we're going to actually play through the end of that measure. It starts with an open note on the high string, okay? Just do that a couple times. Just starting with the high string. And that is the chord I'm going to be talking about, okay? And then, once you get the hang of that, go back to the end of line 3 and notice it's a 5-3 there as well, okay? But on this one, we're not going to do the pinky and the ring finger. We're just going to do the ring finger, okay? And the reason is that the only reason that we're doing it here is because we're playing both of these notes. This one we're not, and it's a little easier to get to, okay? And if you notice, the note before these two is an open note, so it's just kind of awkward. So we're going to start with first finger on 3, ring finger on that 5. That's it. That's the first thing we're going to do. The next thing we're going to do is jump and put our pinky down on the 7th fret on the first string and then play these 2 notes. Okay? Those are the first 2 notes, 0, 7 on line 4. So we start off again on the end of line 3. We have 3 and 5, or 5 and 3, however you look at it, 3 and 5. And then we're going to jump up here and put our pinky down on 7 and play these 2 notes. Okay? And the last thing we're going to do is put this chord down we just learned. First finger, pinky, ring finger, and play from the open high string. And stop. So you have 3 things here. First and 3rd finger play 3rd and 5th fret. That's the end of line 3. Jump and put our pinky down on 7 and play the first 2 notes of the 4th line. We keep going in that measure by putting this chord down. First finger, pinky, ring finger, and play through. Okay? You don't have to do it yet. This week I want you to break it up, but this is what you end up with. Okay, so it's really pretty. It's a neat section. This week, just think of it as 3 different things you got to get used to. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. You're doing great. Just keep doing Girl Left Behind. Just keep trying to get that little bit faster as you feel comfortable, and I will see you next week.